Breaking: Trump officially signs order to allow crypto in 401k plans. So in today's video, we're going to talk about the implications of this 401k, meaning pension funds and boomer accounts ready to enter crypto. So this means no more bear markets ever, because the big money is actually here now. And just for context, pension funds and 401ks and Roth IRAs are actually the big money. Not the Bitcoin ETF, not the Bitcoin proxies, meaning MicroStrategy and miners, which are also public companies that hold Bitcoin. This is actually where the big money is. So, what does this mean for Bitcoin's price? It means that no more bear markets, a real paradigm shift, a real super cycle, right? So in today's video, we're going to talk about exactly this. How does this impact the Bitcoin cycle, which is actually known by all of crypto heads, by TradFi, and also by my own mother. So, what does this mean for the crypto cycle? I've been talking about this for almost 2 years now, and this is actually an explanation of mine since 2024 in the summer, when I've explained again how the crypto cycle works, starting with Bitcoin. Because I was tired of seeing in March 2023, June 2023, August, January 24, months of some capitulations and not how cycles are ended. Cycles end in new paradigm. This is the new paradigm. 12.5 trillion 401ks retirement market to crypto investments. So here in this post from 2024, I answered the question, what do you mean by new paradigm? And exactly this was going to my mind, but this was also a thought process of mine since 2023. Pension funds buying ETFs, crypto ETFs for retirement. It sounded very familiar from me when I saw this last breaking news. Trump officially signs blah blah blah. But that is not all. In August 2023, I posted something like this. Imagine Bitcoin spot ETF that BlackRock applied for in June 2023 getting approved 6 months later, January 24. Yeah, some people call me Baba Yaga when I make this kind of predictions. Oh wait, you don't know who I am. If you don't follow me on Twitter, just follow me here, grab the subscribe button by the neck, headbutt him very hard, and then just go binge watch all my clips. You will get what I'm saying also right now. Because when I make these kinds of predictions, I don't just want to sound smart, I want to make money. And I base all my predictions on data and statistics from all financial history. And yes, I've studied almost all financial history since the Fed was born, meaning 1913. So not just Bitcoin's history since 09, since the GFC, but all of financial history on the chart, starting with the S&P, the Dow Jones, since back here. You can ask me any question you like all this way to the secular bear markets and bull markets, and I would answer it with my eyes closed. That is why I can make these kinds of predictions. It is the rational thing to do. This executive order is actually a rational thing to do. Why is that? Because if you go to my clips and you understand where we are in this secular cycle, this is the clip to watch for that. You will understand that next year in 2026, we would have a cycle reset, we would have weakness, we would have a bear market, stay with me, I will explain also this, but the secular bull market is intact and should end something like 2035 and not a year before. Another thing I posted in March 2024, I was one of the few guys on crypto Twitter that praised the all-time high before halving, not in this post, but in 2023 posts, and also explained those posts in my first clips on this channel. Again, go subscribe and watch them. So let me explain this post from March 9, 2024, which was a local top for Bitcoin. Here's how you get everyone in crypto wrecked. Do an all-time high before the halving. Make all people think that the early peak is 2024. So that means no bull market in 2025. Everyone would say no more 4-year cycles. But all-time high first, but not a last peak. Second, recession scares in the second half of 2024. If you remember August 2024, I also posted back then, we were on a recession climax. Everyone was scared, markets bottomed. Here I was wrong. From the third point, I believed aggressive rate cuts should come next. We had some cuts, the first one being 50 basis points, which was kind of aggressive, but the next ones were not. Bitcoin corrects and bottoms. This actually happened before the rate cuts. New cheap dollars enter the market. Liquidity cycle continues to Q1 2026. Before that, Bitcoin should peak, and the 8th bullet point I made is how the market wants you to think just to get you wrecked. Everyone got faked out by the all-time high before the halving, but nothing really changed, and 2025 is actually the bull market, as same as always. But again, the market makers on this road will try to get you to say things like this time is different, or no more cycles, or paradigm shift. Pension funds, big money coming in this time around is a good way to do that. And man, what a nice playbook for the market makers. Do an all-time high before the halving, and now in 2025 just make everyone say this time is different and no more bear markets or cycles, and the new paradigm is happening because of the pension funds being here. Because President Trump just officially signed this executive order, and because the big money is here, that means Bitcoin will never fall again into a bear market, which is not our scenario on this channel. This is actually a confirmation that the cycle is ending. And what I meant by Q1 2026, in my opinion, January and February for the S&P first would mean some extra upside, and then from March into May, in my opinion, we should visit this area right here. And for Bitcoin, from a cycle perspective, in my opinion, we should have something like, we should see first where the top is, maybe 160, maybe 220, I don't know. We have, in my opinion, into December to decide. And then after that happens, I should watch this area right here for Bitcoin between the 0.786 and the 0.618 Fibonacci area, wherever this would be after the cycle is over. And in my opinion, the cycle is not over until December. And in my opinion, January for Ethereum and some other strong altcoins may be prolonged into February. We shall see. But this kind of news does not really matter. It doesn't matter if the pension funds really start to accumulate right now. Maybe they start next year because they believe that the cycles are real and they will accumulate at lower prices. And this is another discussion with a follower of mine. He said, I see no point in ETFs in this case. Why buy an ETF when you can buy the real thing? The problem with that is that old people do not know and do not want to cold store Bitcoin. And they will never want to. Even MicroStrategies buys Bitcoin to Coinbase. Not even Michael Saylor would do this manually. And in my opinion, that is the whole purpose of the ETFs. Not for plebs to buy it, but for the big money to buy into the ETFs, because they do not want to cold store Bitcoin itself. ETFs, in my opinion, are the gates through which the real flood comes. When it comes, because after this cycle is over and we see Bitcoin bottom, maybe lower, I'm not even discounting a lower low on the Bitcoin USD pair, because the problem with these ETFs and these Bitcoin proxies, the problem with that is that when a cascade selling starts, there is nothing worse than having only one asset to sell. And if this were to happen for Bitcoin, seeing a lower low than 2022, I guess all planets would yell that Bitcoin is over and the cycles again are over. And the only way that this could happen, and Bitcoin seeing below 15K, this should happen really fast, something like 2 weeks, maybe a month, in a cascading sell pressure. And from a market maker perspective, they would make everyone say again that cycles are over, that this time is different. But again, in my opinion, below 50K and above 31K, this void right here should be a good bottom for Bitcoin. And the potential Bitcoin timing window for the bottom at whatever price it's going to be should be from April 2026 into May 2026. And another window I was watching is August 2026 into October. I want to see how the price is looking in this time windows when the time comes. But again, I'm not discounting anything. I'm not discounting even 220,000 for Bitcoin or this one to happen. I'm not discounting anything because I do not trade price. I trade only time and cycles. And this is, in my opinion, where we are in the cycle. You might call me crazy for this, but again, most people do it for years and nothing has changed with the cycle. I made a lot of money with Bitcoin and now I'm waiting for the half-coin season explained here. Crypto investors will be disappointed in 2025. Just go see the clip, because I saw a lot of guys that were just commenting on the title. There is still big money to be made with altcoins, and when you do that, when you get the big bucks from the altcoins, that is another sign that the cycle is over and the reset is due, in my opinion, next year from the second quarter to the third quarter. And again, if you want to understand my clear thought process, just go binge watch all the clips. Together they're not worth more than 2 hours in my opinion. And if you want to see how I deep dive into more charts and some altcoins and specific targets and some Fibonacci rules, some tools that I'm applying for playing the cycle right and extracting the biggest gains I can, just become a member. This is my website. You'll get all the details there. I'm doing monthly market updates, and I'm explaining these narratives way before they happen. Become a member if you want, and if not, I'll see you in the next YouTube clip. Have a great weekend, stay sharp, bye.